Well, hey y'all. It's been a minute, and was planning on doing this video next week, but I've had some people sending me a reel and stuff that I guess I need to address and clarify. But first, hey, I hope you all had a great Christmas and a happy New Year and enjoyed the holidays. Obviously, you could probably tell that I took a hiatus from the social media and did some reflecting myself. So, and more to come on that. But yeah, I figured I needed to hop on here, and I'll post it in the story next to the reel. So, but apparently a shop is doing some porting, and a lot of them out there doing it. And they kind of did a play on our name and kind of looked like a play of Monsoon's porting style and stuff like that. So it encouraged me to come and educate you guys a little bit. No, we're not doing their porting. Be more than happy to do it for them. But to educate the consumer on what's what and what you're getting. And also maybe help out some of the guys that are getting into this, offering the chunk style porting and machining and stuff, because there's some things on there that you'd like to do to increase the performance. So I got this new HD36. This is actually our giveaway gun. I played dress up, might include the light, SRO might change that, but this is definitely it itself. But we did our glory hole port, not glory port on it, glory hole port. That'll ring a bell when you watch the slide next. But let's talk about that for a minute. So what we've done is gone in and bored out an opening in the top of the barrel here, but it's also created an expansion chamber inside the barrel, which you can get away with on these bull barrels because of how thick they are, right? So you're not going to see that or get that on a, I got one here, on a Glock size barrel, right? Because the barrel's not thick enough to create that chamber. There just ain't enough material there. So that's one key feature you as a consumer want to look at. If you are going to pay a shop to do a chunk port on your 2011 or anything with a bull barrel on it, that they're going to throw that chamber in there for you. I mean, they don't have to, but the performance gains you get out of it is crucial, right? Because that chamber allows the gases to travel down the barrel, and then they expand and they hit the walls and they direct upward as opposed to out the front like normal there. That's going to help with your recoil, the performance, the performance and the recoil management and recoil impulse of the gun here. So, and also same thing goes for, something like this, when possible, you want to make that port as large as possible, just simply because you want the gas to divert out as opposed to out the end there, right? And depending on the size of caliber is the size of the hole, basically 350 thousandths for a 9mm. So if you can increase that hole size on the top, you'll get more coming out the top there. But back to actual chunk port on a bull barrel. So again, the expansion chamber, you want to have that whenever possible. Again, allowing the gas to expand and be redirected out. That's why we do ours so wide, so when that gas comes out, it hits the walls at the front, and it's got no choice but to go up there. So the other thing is the back bore, right? So there's a couple things to the back bore. Vinny over at Monsoon is one of the OGs, them and his crew that came out with the chunk port style on these bull barrels. That's who most of us got our inspiration from. And some have varied, we do a different finish, do a couple other things different. Some people just cut and paste, so be it. Like they say, what is it? People who copy you, that's the best flattery, I guess. But the back bore, stay on track here. The back bore, they determined early on that the rifling left in front of the port here on the barrel can cause spalling and accuracy issues, because that projectile is coming down the barrel, jumping that gap, and then re-engaging your lands and grooves, your rifling and stuff on there, and that could deviate. So you backbore it. And a lot of people go, okay, do you backbore? Do you backbore? Everybody's backboring for the most part. But in top of backboring, you also want to internally crown the rifling that ends at this section here, right? That way you're truing that rifling back up. You're making it square with the rifling, so when the projectile leaves the rifling, it has equal contact all the way around and basically releases at the same time to eliminate deviation and accuracy. Another thing that a lot of the shops are missing out there is the size of your backbore, okay? A lot of guys are just going there, backboring it and blowing it out. And you want to keep that backboring as tight as possible. That way you're allowing less gas as the projectile travels to pass the projectile out the front. You know, you want to restrict it so it hits the chamber, expands, and goes up. And a lot of the shop, most of them out there, are just blowing that thing out. So we try to keep that backbore as tight as possible, really just taking the rifling out so there's no touching of the projectile, and going back in and placing that eternal crown at the rifling there. So, yeah, that's some major difference. And that's something, if somebody is going to do that on your bull barrel, you should be looking for. Looking for an expansion chamber to make it more like a comp on that gun. Doing a proper back bore on it so they're not blowing the end out, so you're capturing as much gas in that expansion chamber behind the projectile before it exits, and then internally crowning the rifling on there for accuracy. So, yeah, you guys, that it's a shop out in Ohio there. They just posted one. I've had a few people send it to me, a lot of them knowing, like, hey, check it out, man. This has got your name. It looks like a monsoon port style on the exterior, nowhere near on the interior on there, and they're calling it after your name there. I love it, guys. I mean, I to inspire, to grow, and it looks like they did clean work, but I think the back bore was too big on it, and they didn't have an expansion chamber on it there. So they got room to grow and offer more performance out of their porting, which is awesome. So yeah, by no means is this a dig on them. I just wanted to clarify, no, we're not doing the porting for them. We would love to. If they're looking for somebody to do it, we'll handle it. You can share this with them. But also for the consumer, you want the most performance out of your chunk port, glory hole port, Genghis comp, glory port, like these guys are calling it, whatever it may be. There's some things that go into that. There is, and that's why we charge what we charge, and some other places charge less. Another thing I've seen, kind of off topic, people are, they're doing a lot of porting with laser. And I mean, it's getting the ports done. We have a laser. That's actually what we started with. And it's functional, but in the end, as a consumer and as those guys that are just getting into it, it's not the best way to do it, because cutting with a laser is kind of like using a small plasma cutter, and you leave little micro burrs and slag and stuff like that on your cut. And again, that's going to affect the projectile as it comes down there. So you want a clean, smooth cut as possible. That's why a lot of the shops out there that are doing legit work, they got no problem running a bore scope up their barrel and showing you their ports from the inside. It's clean, it's crisp. There's no contact, and it's not going to do anything that's going to create deviation on your projectile and affect your accuracy or cause spalling or anything like that. So that's it, guys. Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you sticking with me in there. Like I said, we've been off grid for a few weeks. I mean, I've done a couple posts here and there of some stuff that we've done. We've been out of the shop off and on for the last 2.5 weeks. We took all of Thanksgiving off while we were out there in California, brought a bunch of guns in. And good news, guys, we are now digging into those work orders and stuff. So a lot of you that have dropped off with us at ASP Armory and Sacramento Black Rifle, you're going to start seeing tracking orders heading your way here the next couple weeks, and we're going to be sending your projects out there. But it's a little delayed because obviously we were closed that whole week, and then we took off the week before Christmas till the following Monday after New Year's on there. So if you're still waiting for some replies, email messages, text messages back, just shoot them on over again, and we'll get to it. We got a bunch to go through, and we're trying to catch up, but we love when you guys reach out, man, and you guys are getting antsy. Got no problem you guys asking, hey, how's it going, checking on an order. We like the excitement. I get it. I mean, I want to know, is there a chance my buddy got his back? We dropped off at the same time. What's up? So you guys aren't hurting anybody's feelings. You're not upsetting anybody over here. We want excited customers that are looking to get their projects on the range, show them off, and send in more. So, again, appreciate you guys so much. Let's make this year a great year, 2026. Let's kill it. Let's focus on what needs to be done at hand: personal development, mental health, physical health, spiritual health. Let's get after it and take it day by day and be a better person than we were the day before. So appreciate you guys. Thank you. Love you. Have a great year.